the thing, just allow me, I promise you it's not going to be long. It's 10 slides, including the cover page. I'm going to try to elaborate and talk more than just having reading from the slide itself. At the end of my presentation, I'm going to have just a video, okay, presenting how the RFID has been implemented. If you'll just allow me to talk about the RFID, everybody was talking about RFID and how really RFID as a technology is there in places and in industries. What I'm going to cover today, mainly, I'm going to tackle two main points. I'm going to pin how this technology, we are just really adapting it in one industry, specific industry, which is the automotive itself, and how we are integrating this technology with other technologies in place. I think because of the time limitation, I'm going to mainly focus on how we have implemented it and we have tweaked it for the automotive industry. And if I have some time or in private session, I'm going to tell you how we have really integrated it and how we're going to just expand it in the near future. Just allow me, for the sake of the branding, I have to talk about the group itself. I have to talk about the company that I'm going to present, then I'm going to talk about the implementation. Now, my name is Osama Abushaban. I'm heading the IT department for Fahim Group. I'm going to cover today in the agenda many points. I'm going to talk about the group itself. I'm going to talk about why we have RFID there. I'm going to dig down about some sort of what implementation we had in place and how we have integrated it with one of the technologies there. I'm going to talk what was the driver for us to do the implementation and what was the value proposition from different aspects, in terms of tactical aspects, operational, strategic, and so on. Then I'm going to just put the success video and follow with the Q&A session. Now, Fahim Group is one of the most successful groups here in Abu Dhabi, actually. In terms of diversity, they are really diversified. They work in automotive, they operate in automotive industry. They have the Mercedes-Benz, the Fiat, the Jeep, the Michelin, the Bosch, and so on. They operate in different even aspects of industries like hospitality. They work in tourism, travel agencies, they work in oil and gas, and so on. However, my case study is going to cover only the automotive as well. Now, Fahim Group has been established in 1958, okay, and they have granted the Mercedes-Benz dealership in 1962. And in terms of operation for the EMC itself and even for Fahim, they are diversified within the country. They operate in Abu Dhabi, Al Ain, Dubai, Sharjah, and so on. What they are proud of because of EMC is that they're a flagship company. Now, in terms of, let's put it that way, the company's mission, vision, and values, let me focus on the values. We are really implementing our value system there when it comes to humanity, to honesty, substance, and foresight. So you go to the group, even my tag, you'll see my company tag. I'm a proud member of Fahim. So it's just, they build in the pride to be part of the family itself. Digging deep to the group level, those are the brands that we have already and we sell. Okay, we are into retail business mainly. Actually, as I have said, the company has been established in 1958. It has been driven by the opportunity, then expanding the business, going to have more alliances and partnership with some brands. Then they have committed to have some sort of growth, and then we are committed now to the excellence. Talking about EMC, Emirates Motor Company, maybe most of the people here in Abu Dhabi, they know it as EMC. EMC is a flagship company under Fahim Group. They are the sole distributor and seller and service provider for the Mercedes-Benz in Abu Dhabi and Al Ain. EMC has been granted or secured the dealership in 1962, and they were the first company in the Middle East, okay, to have the ISO certification, the 9001, as a quality of service. Now, going to the real meat of this presentation about our implementation for the RFID. For EMC, we have different branches, different locations. However, the implementation now, what I'm going to present is in one of the locations. It's here 20 minutes away down the road from the exhibition center here. It has been implemented in one of our newest locations that has been built 3 to 4 years ago. The location of that site is, as you can see, it's 93 square meters. It's the largest Mercedes-Benz facility all over the world. We have there in the facility the new and used car showroom, the service center, the express service, the body shop, parts and logistics center, training center, staff accommodation, and our Fahim Group headquarters. And allow me just to differentiate between the express service and service center. Service center is a service center where you have the service lifts. we have more than 250 service lifts. The express service itself, it's where we have something called active receptions, which I'm going to dig deep on the service center. Now, the RFID implementation, to be honest, have been utilized on the service center only and the logistics and parts center, which is with this facility or with those inputs. Okay, the service center has a passenger car service and repair center. The total area of the service center out of the 93,000 square feet is 21,000 square meters. It has more than 250 work bays within the air. Those are air conditioned, actually, work bays. There is the active reception that accommodates more than 14 service advisors. Just to differentiate again about the active receptions, active reception is where you bring your car, you see the service advisor, and you have the service lift in front of you. You do everything in one spot with the declaration, and you leave. So no need to take the car inside, and this is the active reception. So it's a one single point of contact. The facility itself, it has an underground parking with more than 550 capacity, and on ground with 100 cars. And those are only, by the way, allocated for the service center. The facility, it has more than 1,000 car parks, but those are only for the service center. We have a dedicated and secure Maybach, which is part of the service center. Maybach is our McLaren and guarded vehicles repair center. This is the interesting part and why we had the value proposition now. The vehicle throughput yearly, it's more than 32,500 when it comes to service only. I'm not talking about the sales, I'm talking about the service. Our sold labor hours on yearly is more than 235,000, okay, labor hours we sell, and this is how we make the real revenue. And in terms of the operational RFID asset tracking on the facility system, and that's why I'm gonna, on the next slide, I'm gonna present what is in one slide, what is the implementation there. One interesting part in the service center, gentlemen, is that we have implemented the RFID in stage 1, and it was in a pilot. And accidentally, we didn't really realize that the ROI won't be achieved in 2 years. It's going to be achieved in 6 months. Okay, that's because of different aspects that's going to be presented in the next slide. Now, generally, those are some photos. I'm going to show you the video, actually, but those are some photos. I believe my colleague Mohammed, he talked about the exciters and so on. Actually, we have the exciters, and we have a passive and active tags. Actually, now we are focused on the active tags. I'm not sure if some people don't know what the difference between active and passive tags. Active tags, those tags that you just have it, you put it somewhere and you can reuse it somewhere else. Passive tags, you just embed it one time and that's it. It's one-time implementation. Okay, now what happens is our tags, once they are in the cars or they are being tagged with the cars, once they come for service, what happens is it talks to the exciters. The exciters, they are integrated with our wireless network. And can you imagine that our entire facility is covered by wireless? And the wireless network is not only used for the RFID, for mobile integration, for the voice over IP infrastructure, for even some guest access, for employees access and everything. And in between, or after the exciters and the RFID tags, we have the VMS, the virtual machine system which is from Tagstone, and it's integrated, as I have mentioned, with Cisco network. Now, our value proposition. What was the driver really for us to go for the implementation? We have done like some sort of study and research, and we have done the pilot to see, can we really propose the solution for this industry? It's an automotive, and nobody has been really implemented this solution within the same industry. So what we have done actually, from a customer's perspective, you can see, our approach was really designed to reduce the waiting times for the customers once they put in their cars or take off, once they want to take their cars ready from service. Okay, and the other proposition will say, okay, the information feedback, once we see the car is there, not there, okay, the customers are waiting, so how we respond to them once they are in the facility or the service center. And the other part is the customer excellence, which is an indirect approach, and this is committed to our vision, because now we are committed to excellence more than achieving the growth. The second strategic proposition was the operational part, and as you can see, we want to decrease the time to retrieve the vehicles. I'm going to show some numbers how we have done that in terms of minutes, and how we have somehow exchanged it to monetary value. Decrease the time to locate the tools itself, because it's not only the cars, we have some diagnostic and testing tools within the facility. And decrease time to locate the personnel, the drivers and the service advisors, technicians, and so on. The third aspect from the value proposition was the tactical aspect. Now, what we have done is we decided we need to go for a better usage of a human capital. We want to see the utilization of them, the process flow optimization, the optimal space utilization. We have a huge space, okay, and we have to increase the efficiency, accurate liability recognition, and enhance the audit management, which is another challenge. From a strategic perspective, okay, we want to lower the cost of the operations. We want definitely to increase our revenues. That's why we are there, and that's why we are paid, actually. Increase the customer satisfaction and the security part aspect of it. I'm going to show you now the numbers, but allow me just to bring one line here in between, which is really interesting. Once we decided to go with the project, we thought that those are really the real drivers for us. And once we have done the ROI, we thought that the ROI is going to be achieved in 2 years. But apparently, because of the massive space we have in place, we have a huge area, a huge space. So accidentally, the ROI have been achieved very fast because the efficiency that we have found on ground was really high. Okay, we found that because we have a parking facility of 1,000 cars, instead of losing a car or you don't find a car within a parking slot of 10 cars, it's much easier, okay, to locate a car that you have lost in 1,000 areas place. Okay. So what we have done is we have done some expectations, and that's what we have got on ground actually. Before the implementation of the RFID, it was taken, as you can see the number here, 30 to 45 minutes for the technician or the driver to locate a car. And after the implementation, actually the P&A is before and after. And after the implementation, it's taken up now 5 to 10 minutes to locate a single car, even if it's in the active reception, either it's in, for example, in the underground parking or in the on-ground parking. So actually, by average, we have minimized per car location more than 30 minutes per vehicle. Now, when it comes to revenue, which is how we sustain the growth for the organization, now those 30 minutes, you can simply, we have just said by average, every technician will work on 3 cars a day. We have 8 working hours, he will work on 3 cars a day. It gives us a saving of 1.5 hours a day. With those 1.5, we have more than 125 technicians. You multiply it to get this number. This number, you multiply it by 26, which are the working days per month. Okay, and you get this, you multiply it anyway at the end with the labor rate, which I can't really disclose here. Then you get the revenue that you have actually got it by saving this time of waste, locating the cars and so on. Now, next slide will be actually the video, but allow me before I start the video itself and talk on one thing. The purpose of the implementation was really to have this objective in place. But to be honest with you, now we can and we will integrate the RFID and utilize the same RFID technology with more than just locating cars and so on. We are planning to do it for the customer experience itself. For example, we have customers that they can bring their cars for service, which should take 45 minutes only. So their customer satisfaction, the workflow itself, and how we can add value to them. And more than that, the experience that they feel. For example, can you imagine you are bringing your car to the service center. Once the system will trigger you, it will inform the service advisor who will come to you and welcome you on place. You're going to see it on the video actually, but the thing that we are utilizing the RFID technology. We are not just putting it in place, we are not now reinvesting on anything, we are just improving our utilization of it. The good thing about it is our adoption. We have been adapted because we were talking about technicians, which is a different segment of labors and technical stuff we are talking about. We are talking about service advisors, management, customers, and so on. So actually the adoption and adaptability was really high internally within Fahim and within the EMC company. If you'll allow me here, I'm going to show you like it's a 4 to 5 minutes video. You will see it, and then we're going to go to the Q&A.
To sell cars and related services means to realize mobile dreams. But the customers are growing more and more demanding as regards their cars and the service, and the market is changing rapidly. For it is good to have many customers, but it is crucial to have many satisfied customers. For this reason, Cisco has developed a number of individual services that enable your car dealership to work more efficiently, and whose personal services allow you to address your customers individually. Example number 1, customer service. RFID chips identify the car from reception onwards by means of all relevant customer data like name, license plate, chassis plate number and VIN number for Autoline. The RFID chip can be identified over the Cisco network via wireless LAN within the whole car dealership. It reports where the car can currently be found, if desired, also with the help of pictures taken by a webcam. The advantage is, your customer consultants can provide information at the push of a button. They know if the service is finished and where the car currently is. No investigation, no search. The customer is immediately informed and your employees will work more efficiently and productively. A further area of use, a continuous passive RFID chip in the car. It registers the customer automatically at reception and with his personal consultant as soon as he reaches the premises. No phone calls, no waiting time. The customer can be received promptly and personally. Moreover, the RFID identification increases the security of your car dealership. If a car is removed from your premises without authorization, this will trigger an alarm. Also, individual, precious and special parts can be marked and can thus be secured and localized quickly in the assembly process. In short, with RFID, the digital age begins for your company and your customers. Example number 2, sales consulting. The Cisco digital media system uses your customer's information phase in the showroom in an ideal way. Central control of flat screens at the point of sale enable the individual configuration of every single screen with custom-made information and offers. Via video, animated posters, emotional slideshows, and animated technical information, the communication in the showroom can thus be configured in detail for every model. A configurator enables you to make individual offers directly in the moving image. A central platform like the Media Pool tool for Mercedes-Benz dealers makes this possible. Never has animated sales marketing at the point of sale been so easily and individually controllable. A further advantage. Via interfaces to the internet, you can also use your Cisco DMS outside of sales times for training sessions of all kinds. Efficiency example number 3. Telephony via IP address. This so-called one single number reach enables your consultants to be available on all end devices under the same phone number. Thanks to the central Cisco network at the car dealership with one connection per participant. But the Cisco experts not only offer IT services, they also provide IT security. Here, synergies in the area of physical security are created. For the central system can also control special IP security cameras, which can be viewed independently of their position via IP address, with authorization from any web access point worldwide. Also, existing analog cameras can be integrated into the IT infrastructure via the Cisco gateway. Basically, all Cisco services for your car dealership concentrate on one thought. The network is the platform. That means a borderless network independent of end devices. This is the key to more efficiency and more service for your car dealership and your customers. For in the end, only a satisfied customer is a good and loyal customer. For your car dealership and for Cisco.
Just before I conclude, by the way, this is direct away, right away from our operation. Those are our team, our service advisors, even our cameraman and everybody. So actually this is from our live environment there in Fahim Group. And one of the things that I just want to reconfirm is our RFID integration with the other systems is not just limited to using it on the service center. Currently it's integrated with the CCTV system. It's integrated with our gate barriers, those IP gate barriers. What do I mean by that? Whenever the car moves and we want to take a snapshot and see who's doing what, whenever the car passes to some location where we have a CCTV and we want to track it, for example, if the customer has taken it out, it takes a snapshot of him to see who's driving it. And whenever, for example, he's allowed or not allowed to leave the facility, the gate barrier will track, let him go or not to go out from the facility. Okay, I believe I'm going to conclude here. I just have now the Q&A slide, so ask me please if you have any question.
Let me kick off the Q&A at this point. You talked about the ROI and you talked about the number of hours saved, which is phenomenal and very significant. Has there been any measure in terms of the increased throughput that you got and which you can share? What I'm trying to say is any number that you can put on the table makes this is one of the best case studies that you can really talk to anybody about in terms of direct ROI on investment. And you said it come back in 6 months rather than a lot more time. But communicate to the outside world if there is a number like the throughput increase or any metric that is not financial, which will communicate the impact of this to any third party who may be looking at it, would be a tremendous amount of value to the industry as a whole.
True. I believe your question has two aspects for us. In terms of the ROI, to be honest, now increasing the throughput, it has some limitations and so on. Okay. First of all, the first aspect is we get to know the utilization of our employees in terms of technicians and in terms of drivers. Can you imagine for this facility we have only 4 drivers? We have 250 service left while we have 4 drivers, which I believe before that we were having more than 22 drivers. We dragged them down to 4 drivers.
That's a good metric.
I didn't mention it here. Now, for example, in terms of technicians we can't because we have different sort of service requests. For example, a body shop which is an accident will take more than, for example, a quick service that you will do in 45 minutes. This is the first aspect. Now, when we did the calculation which was on the ROI on back to 2008, by the way, we did it in the pessimistic approach because the crisis happened in 2008 and 9. So we did it in the pessimistic approach. We weren't like most likely or even optimistic about it. However, why the ROI came really very fast? I'll tell you why. Because this operation or the facility here is really huge facility. For example, if you may implement this RFID in a smaller facility, it might be somehow taken a year or a year and a half or 2 years. But because we have this huge facility in place, I think that's why, which really empowered us to go with the higher ROI. The second aspect, I believe, which you have asked is non-financial factors. We are committed to customer satisfaction. have been cascaded this from our chairman to the MD, who's our CEO, to me, myself directly. We don't do manufacturing, we do service selling, and we do car selling. So service is our core competency when we do business. So customer satisfaction is a must for us. So that's why this is another aspect why we drove this initiative.
Actually, I was supposed to leave to catch my flight, but the only thing kept me actually is that I heard that you are going to give away some S-classes to the audience.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, I was excited about your experience actually, and it is very nice to share with us this experience. Very actually accurate and very well defined, very well structured with the strategic goals and implementation. Thanks a lot, Osama.
Thanks a lot, Muhammad. Thank you. It's unfair, man. He's my vendor, by the way. He's my supplier. They did for us the iPhone application for the AMC.
And exactly, I wanted to ask, what about integrating the application of the mobile so that people can track their car or the progress of the service? So, yeah, we would like to know more about the satisfaction you got from this.
This is a good topic. By the way, he joined another supplier now. Okay, we have already started with them an initiative for the iPhone application. We were, I believe, the first in Abu Dhabi to do that for the AMC. For the Mercedes, okay, and we have done for the integration. And if you have the EMC application, if you download it today, you will get the update, I believe, in the next 4 or 5 days. The new version for our EMC application. It's fully integrated with the service center. You can pick, you can do the appointment. You can change the appointment. You can check the status of your car, and it's integrated with the RFID. What do I mean integrated? In your iPhone application, you get the RFID tag, you put it there, you check the status of your car, it gives it to you, it tells you it's ready, not ready, it's in progress, it will take how long. It's already there. However, we have improved the application now for the next level, which is a 3D video tool. You access the showroom, you check the models, you choose any, which is a live video, 3D video tool. You go to any car model, you check the specs, and you request for example, a quote or whatever. But we have done this, I believe, a year and a half ago with Farabi. I believe when Haidar, he was with them. And you can do, it's a full, you know, it's part of our commitment to customer excellence.
Thank you, sir. Very nice presentation. I think one of the advantages of using RFID is you can track cars. As you said, it's a huge facility, and somebody may take the car out unauthorized. So this is a big benefit for you, don't you think?
True. This is really what came to be a benefit for us after we implemented the solution. As I'm telling you, we thought at the beginning it's going to be just for the sake of service. Locating the car, which parking is, we have underground parking, on-ground parking, different parking areas even. That's why we cannot locate the car. However, down the road we found that no, we have an IP cameras and we have a IP gate barriers. Why we don't integrate? The technology is there. So for example, if the car has a financial settlement, that it has not been settled, and this is the guy who is not allowed to drive the car with the tag to go out, the gate barrier will not open. And even through the process itself, even if you are allowed or not allowed, if you are moving with the car within the facility, the CCTV system will take a snapshot to see who's driving the car. So even we know whose driver who did, for example, an internal accident or an external accident. Another interesting aspect, which is part of our internal processes, which is still we're going to implement. For example, we have a policy says any car that we have to deliver after service, we have to do a safety check. The safety check, we have to drive it safety. For example, if you change your brakes, we have to take it for a 10 to 15 minutes drive from our technicians. So they have to make sure that it has been inspected and it's ready to deliver. It's a pre-delivery. Imagine that the driver, he took it for 2 hours. It will give an alert now to the supervisor that the car is out from the facility for 2 hours, while our policy says it should be out for maximum of 15 minutes. The other aspect that we're going to conclude now, because we have 250 service left, is, as Mr. Harsh said, is for example, if you want to have the efficiency and utilization. I know that, for example, this car for service changing oil and so on, it's on the service left. By policy or by knowledge, we know we have defined an SOP says it should take 45 minutes. It's there for 4 hours. Why? So that means nobody's working on it while we are, for example, having it on the service lift, occupying a service lift for 4 hours doing nothing. So this is another aspect we are looking on it. However, it's not yet there yet, but we have to do it as an integration with our DMS, which is the dealership management system. But yeah, as you have said, it's part of the integrating the technologies together.